Hello everyone and welcome to Re-Engineer You, the #1 show for massive weight loss and lifestyle transformation. I am your host, Cameron Magarchuk, Master Transformation Coach, and we're back in my kitchen again for another super simple, extremely delicious recipe that you can make in just a few minutes here. Doesn't take very much at all, and definitely doesn't take a lot of ingredients. All I have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a handful of spices, so you don't need a lot of stuff for this, but it tastes amazing. What we're going to do is some stuffed peppers. So we're going to use, all I have is some peppers out here. I've already taken all the insides out of them out, just slice the top off, cut the insides out and get rid of the seeds. And so I've done that with 4 of these peppers here already. We're going to use a little bit of cauliflower, and with the cauliflower we're going to shred it. So I've already shredded it with the cheese grater. And that's easy enough. So I used probably about that amount in there, so just a bit of a head, about a quarter of a head of cauliflower, and shredded it in the cheese grater. For meat, we're going to go with just a ground Italian sausage. So I have a hot ground Italian sausage here. You can use ground beef too, it would work just the same, but for a little bit of a change we're going to go tonight with the ground Italian sausage. A little bit of garlic, so you can use either cloved garlic or I have just the pre-minced stuff here just because it's a little bit easier for cooking with. We're going to use some oregano. For spices, just a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of basil. So nothing too fancy here, but basically all we're going to do is take that Italian sausage, we're going to dump it into a mixing bowl here, and with that we're going to add 1 can of tomato paste, so just a little mini can here of tomato paste. We're going to take an entire can of that and dump it in there. Use the whole can. And this is a 5.5 fluid ounce can, so just a little guy. So we get all that out there. And once we have all that in there, we're going to add the cauliflower. So we're going to dump that cauliflower right in there with it, all of the grated stuff. And we're just going to get right in there with your hands. So kind of a messy job, but just want to mix it all up in there. Mix the cauliflower, the ground Italian sausage or ground beef right up in there, fold it over on each other, get right up in there with your hands so it's all mixed in real nicely. Okay, and then let's wash your hands off. Then we're going to add in the spices after that. Once it's worked in a little bit, we'll add the spices and the garlic, and then we'll keep folding it over and work the spices in a little bit more as well. So what we'll do is we'll throw just a teaspoon of this minced garlic in there. So that's about 3 cloves if you're going to use real cloves. I would use about 3 actual cloves, and you can chop it up or mince it or however you want to do your garlic there. Onion powder, do just a little bit of onion powder. That's about 2 or 3 teaspoons there. A little bit of oregano for some flavor. So I'd put about 2 teaspoons of oregano in there. As you know, I don't really like measuring stuff, so I just kind of go with what I see. That's about 2 teaspoons of basil in there as well. And so then we'll just continue folding it in, and we'll just work everything, all the spices and the garlic and everything right into the meat until it's all folded in and evenly pressed in there. Okay. So once that's done, you'll have a nice meat mixture. Get that all off your hands, which will look something like that in there. So it's all folded in real nicely in the mixing bowl. So let's wash our hands again. And now what you're going to do is just take that mixture, that meat and cauliflower and spices, and you're just going to put it right into, stuff it right in the peppers. So very easy, like I said, takes literally no time. It took me maybe about 10 minutes to get that all the cauliflower shredded and the peppers all cut up and sliced and stuff like that. And then literally just a couple minutes past that. So let's take one of your peppers and we just spoon it in. So this meat mixture, I used about a pound of the Italian sausage, and that's usually about enough for 4 peppers, depending how big your peppers are, of course. But I'll just press that in there. We might have a little bit left over today. These are pretty kind of small peppers. So we'll just fit in as much as we can in that pepper. Leave a little bit of room at the top because it will expand a little bit as it cooks. So as you can see there, stuffed inside. Then let's continue on. So when you cut the peppers too and you gut them, make sure you save the tops because you're going to put the tops back on when you put it in the pot. So I'm going to be using my Dutch oven for this because it's a little bit faster than using a slow cooker, but if you have a slow cooker, that'll work just as the same too. I'll tell you how long you'll put that on in just a second. So we'll just stuff as much as we can in there. So in my Dutch oven, I'm going to be putting it in the oven at 325 for about an hour and a half, maybe about an hour 15, hour 20. If you're going to use a slow cooker, you'd put it on low for about 4 hours, because it's just ground beef. It's just Italian sausage, so that won't take too long to cook. So I'd do low for about 4 hours. And if you're listening to this on iTunes, make sure you go to reengineeryou.com and you can grab the recipe from there. It's all laid out there. You can print it off in a real nice, easy to view PDF format. And you can check out this video also, so you can actually see what I'm doing as well if you're just listening to it on iTunes right now. And if you're watching on iTunes, then also be sure to go to reengineeryou.com and you can grab the recipe from there too. It'll be labeled as episode number 28 and stuffed peppers. So pretty easy to find. So just about done. We'll throw as much as we can in there. This was pretty much good. We're going to have a little bit left over, but not too much. With the leftovers, you can save it and fry it up with some eggs and bacon or something in the morning for breakfast too. That's kind of a nice thing to do, so I'll put a little bit more in here. Works out pretty well with that. You just throw it in a pan, fry up the leftover meat and cauliflower and spices and have some eggs with it. That'd be perfect. So I'm just going to set that aside. Okay, so as you can see, we have our 4 peppers here, all nicely stuffed with the meat. And so I'll just put them in my Dutch oven, which is just this nice pot here. And we'll just kind of squeeze them in there. Sometimes don't fit very well, so make sure you see how big your slow cooker is and how big your Dutch oven is too, so you know that you have enough space. I know this Dutch oven, this size of pot, will usually fit about 4 peppers, but if you get really wide peppers, then they sometimes won't fit in there. You kind of got to squeeze them in. So then you just set the tops on top like that, and we're good to go. So I'm going to throw this in the oven. I'm going to put the top on. Throw it in the oven at 325 for about an hour and a half, and we'll come back at you. And like I said, if you're doing the slow cooker, put it on low for about 4 hours, maybe 5, and you should be good to go with that. And so yeah, we'll come back and check in with you in about an hour and a half, and we'll see what they look like. All right, so there you have it. So it's been about an hour, and I took these out at about an hour and 20 minutes. So it looked pretty good. Yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes. I had them in there at 325 in the oven. And so yeah, like I said before, if you're doing the slow cooker, you'd put it on low for about 4 hours, and that would be good too. But yeah, it looked pretty good. So I usually cut mine in half. There's going to be a lot of liquids and a lot of grease. You can probably see kind of seeping out of there right now. But more or less, it looks pretty tasty. So that does it for the stuffed peppers. Enjoy. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that recipe of the stuffed peppers. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of that too. So if you go to facebook.com/Cameron Makarchuk, and I'll put that link below here too, you can let me know what you think of it. So I always like to hear what people think of these recipes, and if you guys are enjoying them or not, or if you'd like to see some different stuff. But everything here today was completely, gluten-free, dairy-free, everything. So really lines up with all the nutrition recommendations that we make for that massive weight loss transformation or fat loss in general. So yeah, let me know what you think on facebook.com/Cameron Makarchuk, or just go to reengineeryou.com and you can find all the links for that as well. If you just search for episode number 28, stuffed peppers, you should be able to find it pretty easily there. And like I said before, everything is in a nice, easy to print recipe that you can just save as a PDF or print it off very nicely. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please, either leave a review on iTunes under the Re-Engineer You podcast. That really helps us get the exposure out and help us reach more people. And or go to Re-Engineer You and click one of the like, tweet, +1 share buttons down there, and share this video with someone that you think might benefit from having a new recipe in their repertoire. Okay, so that's it for me, and I will see you guys next time.